It's your boy, Ty Dry Tay Stunner, or Tayshawn Town Booth, whatever you want to call me. But this is Underground VA. Oh, and I'm going to need y'all to go like, share, follow, and subscribe to me on all social media platforms at _Underground VA. And you can follow me personally on social media at Ty Drive Tay Stunner Official, man. I thank y'all for all y'all support, man, on the guys. Now let's get into it. All right, man. So listen, right? Today on Underground VA, I'm going to be breaking down the 6 sections of Underground VA and how we got them, what they about, what's out there, what's not out there. You already know what's going on. But I know the first thing I want to touch on is you see this whole little section right here with all 6 different colors? Yeah, I want y'all to understand that is not the DMV. You see this little brown part right there? This little small brown part on this map? This is the DMV. This is not where Pusha T is from, Missy Elliott, Allen Iverson, none of that. Okay, right? Now to give y'all a few key takeaways about the DMV area of Underground VA, I want y'all to know that the DMV is actually considered to hold the most populated people in Virginia, with holding over 2 million people. But I actually think that's when you include DC and the county parts of Maryland and everything. Also, just to make this clear, Baltimore is not a part of the DMV either. We all know that down here. But outside of that, yeah, I don't really think, don't quote me on that, I don't think it's still the most heaviest populated part of Virginia without adding those other sections, you know what I'm saying? And this is Underground Virginia. We strictly own the Virginia part of what's going on. So with that being said, a couple notable figures from this area: Tommy Richmond, Shabuzi, Sandra Bullock. And that's about it. For real, for real. The DMV part of Virginia, it hosts 7 federal government buildings. 1, the Pentagon in Arlington, VA, headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense, one of the world's most largest office buildings. Then you got the CIA headquarters in Langley, VA. It's the CIA headquarters. You know what I'm talking about. Then you got the NGA building, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, which can be located in Springfield, Virginia. Then you got the U.S. Patent and Trademarks Office, located in Alexandria, Virginia. Of course, this reviews and grants patents and trademarks throughout the whole United States of America. You also have the U.S. Department of Homeland Security facilities, you know, part of the DIA, the DEA, the FBI, all of that extra stuff. And those will be out in various cities like Herndon, Springfield, and Fairfax. Then you got the Quantico Marine Corps building, the base actually, which is located in Quantico, VA, home to the FBI Academy and the DEA Training Academy. And you got Fort Belvoir in Fairfax County, headquarters to several departments of defense agencies. So to kind of wrap this up in a nutshell, this simple small part, even though with it being like the smallest section in this whole great state of Virginia, this small part is kind of the part that runs this whole United States of America. And also, this small part is the main reason why people don't like to come to this whole state. You feel me? And I understand that, you know what I'm saying, even though that's a small part, the same laws apply all across the state. But this is actually where the headache is, at the top of Virginia. Respectfully, this is not the culture of Virginia. This is not the real Virginia. This is just, I guess, the face of Virginia. Like what everybody says, what everybody thinks of when you probably think of Virginia if you're not really from Virginia. And then when you think of the bad stuff about Virginia, like it's not spread throughout. It's really in this section right here. Like, this is where the feds are. This is where the police are. This is where the government is. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is their little hub. This is not the culture of Virginia. This is not where the real everyday this is not where the everyday Virginian is. And I know it's like, how can you say that if it's people who live there every day that's in Virginia? But like the regular working class of Virginia, this is not where they are. But this is the most part of Virginia that gets the most highlight, the DMV. All right. So with all of that being said and done about the DMV, I'm going to take y'all to this next section, the heart of VA in the red, right? Which we call the VA heart section. For many reasons, for real. But as I get into explaining this, hopefully you'll understand better about why we call this the VA heart. Just for number one, it holds the capital of VA, Richmond. And Richmond just is in its own timing anyway. But you know what I'm saying? Even outside of that, there's a lot of reasons why we call this the heart. You feel what I'm saying? But let's get into it. Boom. So some notable things to take away from the VA heart section is, like you see right here, it was the third heaviest populated, you know what I'm saying? But breaking that down with the DMV, how I just broke that down, I'm going to say this probably would be the second heaviest populated, and the DMV may be the third, but I know it'll be a tie between even this being the second or the third and the DMV, you know what I'm saying? Like one of them is either, you know what I'm saying, however it go. But with that being said, you know, you got some notable cities in the VA heart section is Richmond, Petersburg, Chesterfield, Henrico County, Tappahannock, Westmoreland County, Bowling Green, Ashland, all the way to Farmville. Some notable figures coming from this area. Well, of course, you have Chris Brown, Trey Songz, George Washington. Yes, the first colonial president, George Washington. Dollar bill, y'all, George Washington. You got D'Angelo. You got James Monroe, another president. Moses Malone, Efimo Emiliano. And if you don't know who that is, he played in Forrest Gump, and I love Forrest Gump. So, he's on this. The VA heart section, it also holds 8 state government buildings in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Like, this part is like an essential part of everything that's going on. Again, why we call it the heart. The first bit that we're going to talk about is the Virginia State Capitol, designed by Thomas Jefferson. Houses the Virginia General Assembly, the Senate, and House of Delegates. 2, you got Governor's Mansion, the Executive's Mansion, official residence of the Governor of Virginia. 3, you got the actual Supreme Court of Virginia building. Then you got 4, the Patrick Henry building. This office is the governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general. 5, we got the Virginia Department of Education. At 6, we got the Virginia Department of Health. 7, we got the Virginia State Library and Archives, basically the Library of Virginia. This holds state documents, historical records, and archives. At 8, we got the Virginia War Memorial, Defense Supply Center in Richmond. Well, that's Chesterfield County, Virginia. And that's really that. You got colleges and everything. Like, I don't want to really break down all the colleges. They got VCU and VSU in this area, and them is lit. But you know what I'm saying? I don't really want to break down because it's like other stuff, and I'm not going into every college in every state, but those 2 colleges are up there, and those is like some of the latest colleges in Virginia, obviously. But yeah. Okay. So wrapping that up, we gonna get into this third section, this green section, the 7CF. 7CF stands for 7 cities and friends. You feel what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, all of this is just not the 7 cities. But for one thing, first, as you can see, this is the most heaviest populated area in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? And it all makes sense once it all makes sense. But with that being said, the major cities in this area is basically, you know what I'm saying? First, you got the 7 cities. You got Newport News, Hampton, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, Suffolk. You feel me? Then you also got Williamsburg, not in the 7 cities, but just a part of the 7 CFs. The F's part, actually. You got Williamsburg, Franklin, Gloucester, Smithfield, Eastern Shores, all the way to Waverly and more. You know what I'm saying? Like counties and everything in between there. So some notable figures from the 7 CFs, you got Missy Elliott, Mike Tomlin, my boy, Allen Iverson, Percy Harvin. You got Pharrell, Pusha T, Michael Vick, Timberland, Patton Oswalt. You got many, many more, but that's what I'm saying. Like, this is where the stars are born. We even got famous crackheads down here. Shout out to Bebe, man. Massaging and shit, you feel me? But, yeah, everything, it's a lot of stuff going on in this green part. This is like the most heavily populated, you know what I'm saying? I feel most influential. As you can see, everybody who's coming from here, you know what I'm saying? Still shout out to everybody, but the most influential culture, what brings people to, you know what I'm saying, when you get back to Virginia, you know what I'm saying, especially in this day and time and age of what's going on, you know what I'm saying, where the stars at, you got the Virginia Beach, ocean front, you got, you know what I'm saying, it's just everything going on down here, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you got Norfolk State, you got Old Dominion, you got Hampton University, you know what I'm saying? It's not like the brains like the DMV holding all the federal government buildings or like the heart holding all the government buildings, but it do got a lot of good, basically, just historical landmarks. I'm going to say that. And it got a few military and intelligence sites of national importance here, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got the Naval Station Norfolk in Norfolk, VA, the largest naval base in the world. Then you got the Joint Base, Langley and Fort Eustis. You know what I'm saying? That's from Hampton, the Newport News. You got the Virginia Beach oceanfront, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, and doing this underground was stunning. When we get into the history of Virginia, you know what I'm saying? That'll be talked about. But that's, you know what I'm saying? That's a great landmark, like, for the United States of America. You got the Virginia Beach oceanfront. Then, even talking about that, you got Colonial Williamsburg, one of the largest living history museums in the United States. You got the Jamestown settlement and historic Jamestown. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a little bit different. It's basically the same thing as Colonial Williamsburg, but it's a little bit different. You got the Yorktown battlefield, decided the final battle of the American Revolution. You got the National Park Service site there. Of course, you got, like, Busch Gardens. You got water country out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff to do. You got to find it. You got to find it. And I'm telling you, like, I break down the eats and night eats and everything and all of these sections. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. We're not going to get into all of that. It's just the sections, what cities is in there, and why these are what they are. You feel what I'm saying? So that's really what you got going on in this section. You know what I'm saying? Like, a little wrap up is just like, this is where the function at. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where the culture is. Like, especially like the black culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the first black people were brought to this portion of Virginia right here. You feel me? Like, this part of Virginia, this is where we at. If you know what I'm saying? This is where we at. If you feel what I'm saying? This is where we at. Right there in this green part. You know what I'm saying? But y'all gonna see all of this stuff in real day and time. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the channel. But it's like I can go on and on and on about this section. That's why it's like, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to do too much, you know what I'm saying? But and as we keep going, because this is the most parts. The 3 sections that I just broke down from now, this is really like the most active parts of Virginia, like where everybody is, you know what I'm saying, from the 7 cities to Richmond and Petersburg and everything up to Alexandria and Arlington and everything. Like these are the 3 mass hubs of Virginia. The brown, the red, and the green. You feel me? We about to get into the last 3 sections, and I don't know, it might go about a little fast because it's not really, like, historically and land-wise and stuff going on, but it's not really, like, we got to get out there and see. I'm going to say that. I ain't going to even say because, you know what I'm saying, this is me starting the channel, and I expect to find out so much more about these areas, you know what I'm saying? But that's just going to wrap that up for this green part, the 7 CFs part, the 7 cities in France part of Virginia. Okay. So, on to the next section, wrapping that up, man. We gonna move right to the left in the orange. I ain't gonna say biggest. This is probably just, you know what I'm saying? It's the north and the south. It's, you know what I'm saying? Those are the biggest, like, land-wise areas. But it's just not a lot going on there. But to break this down, you got the Southern Lights section. Basically, the south part of Virginia, man. When it comes to these last three, I can't tell you who is more populated than who over here. You feel me? I can have my opinion, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? Just to throw it out there, I think it would be the blue part. Like, after everybody else, I think the blue part would be kind of where everybody else is after that, and then it might fall into the yellow or the orange. I don't know which one will come last. But, yeah, I know these three are the least populated areas in Virginia. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but some key major cities to take away out here in the Southern Lights. You got Emporia, you got South Boston, Danville, Gallix, Bristol, Wise, Martinsville, Tazewell, Pulaski, Wheeler, and etc. And I know you probably ain't heard of half of those cities or what I'm talking about. You probably don't even know what's going on up out in most of them cities. And that's honestly because it's like, one, that it is so spread out, and two, it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, that's not where we at. You feel me? Like, that's not where we at for real. Like, you got key city, you got some city parts in all of these places, like Emporia. You got some like some, I ain't gonna say like city, but it's like, it's active there. It's people, it's a community there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not as, I'm gonna say urban. It's not really urban. Like, that's the country. These are the country parts. You know what I'm saying? They got urban activities going on out there, but it's not. It's really, it's like, what's bubble? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what is going on out there. Like, you got a goddamn, man, I'm not going to even get into it, because we going to get it all connected, and you know what I'm saying? We going to know what's going on out there. But some notable figures to take away from the Southern Lights part, you got Jeremy Jeffries, you got Tremaine Edmonds, Tyrone Davis, Michael Tucker. You got the Burton family of NASCAR. I'm not exactly sure they still live out here, but I know like Jeff Burton and them, I know they're from here. They're from, I believe, South Boston, if I'm not mistaken. And NASCAR in itself, like, people don't understand, but it's like NASCAR, like, this is where it's like NASCAR. Like, it's big. Like, even though they got NASCAR in Richmond and stuff like that in the red, but it's like the community of NASCAR is like between the orange and the red. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where this NASCAR of Virginia is really, really that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna get into that too. You feel what I'm saying? But some just natural wonders and outdoor attractions and just cultural towns to visit, I guess. You got Mount Rogers, Grayson Highlands State Park, you know what I'm saying? That's like the highest peak in Virginia. They got wild ponies. You can hike there. You can do camping. Like, if that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to do camping, if you want to go to the mountains, you know what I'm saying? These are where you're going. Like, if you trying to see these good, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to say there's nothing there, but the scene of Virginia, like, where you know what I'm saying, ain't about to see a bunch of gangbangers standing on the block, and you want to see like the real good parts you see in the commercials, this is where you going. You know what I'm saying? I don't even see them out there. That's why you don't see them in the commercials. You don't see gangbangers in the commercials because they're not over there. But yeah, you got Mount Rogers. Then, I mean, you got Bristol, VA. I mean, it's not really, it's just famous for the Geico commercial. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm in Tennessee. I'm in Virginia. I'm in Tennessee. Oh, I'm in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Bristol, Virginia. That is actual a real place. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got Abington in the Barter Theater, one of the longest running professional theaters in the United States. That's that. I know. I want, like, one thing about, like, especially the Southern Lights part that is like, it wasn't even in my notes, but it's just understanding as I've been doing all of this research on everything. It's just like, urbanly speaking, right? It's just like, you know, when people get locked up and they say, bro, like, they are in King Mountains, or they in Red Onion State Penitentiary, like the level 5, 6 max penitentiaries where you ain't never coming out. And they say, you know what I'm saying, like the racist people be carrying them in the jail systems and everything. Not only is that in the orange part, but that's in the orange part all the way to the west. All the way at the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, far from where we at. You feel what I'm saying? Like geographically speaking, like, these prisons are all the way over here. Takes forever to get. It's going to take you the longest. No matter where you are in Virginia, it's going to take you the longest to get to them. And it's that's what I'm saying, like the urban population, the population that's really indulged in what the world is going on. And I don't really mean, when I say urban, I don't even mean black, but just like they're just not in tune. They just on their own timing. And it's just all these people who live in this country towns of Wise. Because that's where it is. It's like Wise. That's why it's a major city, because Wise is known for the penitentiaries. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. Stuff like that. Like, this is what this part is known for. You know what I'm saying? You got the brown, that's the feds. And the orange is where they're going to hold you at. Like, and not even the feds, but like the Virginia. This is where they're going to hold you at. When they want to send you, put you away and punish you, Virginia's going to put you all the way over there. Just know. Okay. So, quick. Next to the next section. RBA section. The blue section. So, basically, RBA stands for Roeburg Alliance, like Roanoke, Lynchburg, and just the alliance of everything that's going, you know what I'm saying? But it's like Roanoke, you could say Lynchburg, and then the A, Appomattox, Roanoke, Lynchburg, Appomattox, RBA, Roeburg, you know what I'm saying? Like, however you want to take away from it, but it's everything from Roanoke, Lynchburg, Appomattox, and, you know what I'm saying? And the circumference of that, because those are really like, those are the cities in this area that controls and forms this area. You feel what I'm saying? Like, with that being said, some notable figures from this area. You got Tiki Barber. Of course, you got his brother, Rondé Barber. You got Jen Lilly, George Lynch, Chuck Carrington, and John McAfee. You just got to look up John McAfee, bro. Like, I didn't even know he was from Virginia, but I didn't even know exactly. Just it was me looking up people who were from Virginia. Then I seen like John McAfee, like McAfee, the virus, the person who created the virus thing. And then it's just like just understanding who he is and what he done. Like, bro, he is crazy. It's like definitely giving one of these type of Virginians, like especially out there. Like he's a Virginian, but he one of them Virginians that's like ain't around everybody. Like, he one of them Virginians that they just be thinking like they got all the time to be exactly who they are. They go like, yeah, crazy. On phone them. Definitely fit. Smart, but crazy at, you know what I'm saying, to say the very least. But some natural wonders and outdoor attractions. You got the Natural Bridge, Rockbridge County. That's near Lexington. It's a massive limestone arch, like 215 feet tall, I believe. Once owned by Thomas Jefferson. Exact, like a rock, yeah. A rock, yeah. Once owned by Thomas Jefferson. And you got the Roanoke, the Blue Ridge Passageway access, Millmount Star Vibrant. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you got sites in Roanoke. Like, these mountains, these bridges, these hiking trails. They got very good scenic, very good, like, scenic culture, just good things to the eye to see out in these areas. Just like in the South, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, in my opinion, I would think this would be like the fourth heaviest populated people because, like, you hear, like, I think it's a college around here too because it's like Collegeburg. It's a college down here that be jumping too. I'm not exactly sure what that college is, but yeah, it's a college that got this, like, jumping over here. You know what I'm saying? Because you will hear a lot of people, oh yeah, I'm from Roanoke, and it's like, we ain't never been to Roanoke, but you'll hear a lot of people coming from Roanoke. Like, damn, what the hell? Y'all from Roanoke? What y'all doing out there? But yeah, for sure, like, that's the RBA section, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, some notable cities, Roanoke, Lynchburg, Appomattox, Radford, Lexington, Bedford, and etc. And on to the last section. Okay, so last but dang sure not least, right? We got the Northern Lights section. Obviously, the north part of Virginia. Not the DMV exactly, but the north part of Virginia. You feel me? This is like major cities and counties here. You got Charlotte. Excuse me. You got Charlottesville, Staunton, Waynesboro, Harrisonburg, Lowden Heights, Fredericksburg, Winchester, etc. So when I get into the north, right, I want to explain, like, when I talk about the DMV, because like they talk about the metropolitan area. So it's like the initial metropolitan area is exactly what I showed y'all. They got little roads that lead to, like, you know what I'm saying, like Lowden Heights. It's like parts of the metropolitan do, I believe, extend to Lowden Heights, but it's just like, it's not really the DMV. Like, that's just like where, that's like the outskirts of the DMV. Like where you go, like if you want to be in the DMV, but not like, you know what I'm saying, like right there. You don't want to be in there, but you want to be like right there type. That's what that is. So it's just still like, that's what I'm saying. It's a real breakdown of what the DMV is really just a small part. That's really not nothing compared to Virginia. You feel what I'm saying? But on with it. So notable figures from the Northern Lights part of Virginia. Of course, you got President Woodrow Wilson. You got Danny McBride, Rob Lowe, James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, and David Arquette. Natural wonders and outdoor attractions and historic sites. You got the Shenandoah National Park and Skyline Drive. Blue Ridge Mountains near Luray in Waynesboro. It's a 105-mile scenic drive, hiking, waterfalls, and overlooks. Great overlooks. I mean, I think like this is exactly what I mean when I say like what you be seeing on Facebook when they talk about like all these good sites in Virginia, the Shenandoah Valley and all of this. This is the northern part of Virginia. Like that's not like the DMV. Like this is the northern part of Virginia, Shenandoah Valley. Like it's its own place. Like you got to do that. Then you got the Luray Caverns. The Luray Caverns, my bad, in Luray, Virginia. One of the largest and most beautiful cave systems in the United States. Features the Great Stalsupine Organ. You got Monticello. That's the home of Thomas Jefferson. Well, when he was alive, respectfully. But that's in Charlottesville. Then, I mean, like I say, Charlottesville is a special town in its own. You know what I'm saying? Wine, it's wine country, live music and stuff like that. And again, like I said, it's home to Monticello. That was owned by Thomas Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? Like big TJ. But yeah. So that's the Northern Lights. Like Northern Lights is really, I'm not gonna say like that's the real, like from the. I mean, I'm gonna break it down like that. The three to the left is your hiking, waterfalls, your skylines, you know what I'm saying, your views, you know what I'm saying, and like you can see basically like 3 to your left is one, the 3 to your right is a different. And it's not really broken down like that, but it's just like you can see what I'm saying. Just read between the words, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the job for Underground VA is to bring all of this together because all of this makes up Virginia. And it's like when we talk about Virginia and like people always single out and talk about basically one part without even trying to talk about one part. You're either talking about, oh yeah, these are places to go and see, like the good parts to see in Virginia. And it's just like people see that and then make it something, but then it's just like, you got to be interested in just that. And then when you're talking about these artists and all of this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's only one part. People in the other parts is like, bro, that ain't got nothing to do with over here. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But at the end of the day, my job our job here at Underground Virginia is to bring all this together, show you everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, even because, like I said, it's people everywhere, all throughout here. It don't matter, white, black, whatever. We want to get everybody's opinion, how everybody feel, what everybody think. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make this one. Because it's like, it's hard. It's like, it's already separated on the inside. But then it's already grouped together to the world on the outside. With people that, like, people ain't even going against. Like, people don't care about people in, like, Virginians don't care about the D.C. and Maryland parts of the D. Like, we don't care. But that's not us, bro. Like, and respectfully. It's just like just so much stuff like how DC people think that they look at Virginia people, they really don't, because like nobody never came, like nobody ever watched out for nobody from DC. Like nobody in Virginia, like in the real Virginia. Maybe if you in that brown part, it's like, yeah, DC go hard. But man, in any other part in Virginia, bro, nobody ever was stunting a guy from Washington, D.C. And I'm talking about, bro, this ain't even to be disrespectful, but I'm talking about, like, even when it comes to, like, Aunt Glizzy and I rock with Aunt Glizzy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, how they make it seem, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, D.C. is, like, bro, we don't look at it like that. Bro, I'm telling you, like, never, ever have I woke up, like, bro, you'll be down here in Virginia and you'll hear about, like, bro, niggas from New York, niggas coming from the South thinking they, you know what I'm saying? Never, ever, ever have in my whole life of living in Virginia has anybody been worried about a nigga from D.C. Bro. And that should just tell you that on that. But, like I said, this ain't even to do all of that right here. This is just to break down these sections, you know what I'm saying, to show y'all that, again, this whole thing is not the DMV. There's one brown part is the DMV. And shout out to the DMV, you know what I'm saying? But even with myself, I am from the 7CF, strictly. I'm from Newport News. And it's just a whole great topic in that. You got to check out my other videos and stuff to understand the importance, you know what I'm saying? Because even with it being said, and this go ruffle some feathers, to me, Newport News is the greatest city in the 757 in the 7 anyway. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and again, I do a whole video explaining the back history on all of that, and you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm from the 757. I'm from Newport News, you know what I'm saying? Like, you different. And Richmond people are different from us in the 757. People in Lynchburg are different from us in Richmond and in the 757. You know what I'm saying? And if you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. But y'all gonna understand. Y'all gonna get to know. And probably over time we are, like, once everybody start mingling and populating, you know what I'm saying? The lingo is probably, you know what I'm saying? It probably become like a Virginia lingo, a Virginia scene, a Virginia, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they group it as. Nobody talk about the Richmond scene isn't outside of Virginia. The Richmond scene is inside of Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Like, a Virginia music scene can go far, like a Detroit music scene. It's the whole state. I mean, well, no, Detroit is in Michigan. Yeah, so the Detroit music scene, that one city, that music scene, that city music scene is throughout the world. The Richmond music scene ain't throughout the world. Not as the Newport News music scene, not a 757, not even really a DMV, like the DMV, and that's what I'm saying. They got it. I give it. Like the DMV is the only like area you got to get in that scene to go far. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like we ain't trying to do all of that. People ain't trying to do all of that no more. And with that being said, man, I'm just gonna wrap this up. This your boy Ty Dry Tay Stunner, and this is Underground Virginia Explained #1. Cause I dang sure I might make a part 2. Trying to explain it better, you know what I'm saying? I'm new to all of this. I thank everybody for watching, everybody for liking, sharing, subscribing, everything. We gonna keep this thing going, man, for Virginia.
Like and subscribe if you like your father. Like and subscribe if you like your mother. We look at that.